Hey everyone, today we have Aleks Gollu, founder and CEO at 11Site. Now, 11Site is an inbound video call and customer engagement platform that shortens sales processes through one-click inbound video calls from any channel. Now, Aleks is a serial entrepreneur with a couple successful exits under his belt. So I'm really excited to dive into his journey and see what we can learn today. So with that said, Aleks, welcome to the show.
Hi, Shine. Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for being on the show. So, Aleks, let's dive right in. Let's talk about the founding story of 11Site.
Yeah, so you did mention that this is our third startup. So, to give you a little bit more background about myself, originally I come from Istanbul, Turkey. Did an undergrad at MIT. I was doing my master's at Berkeley. When I said, well, I should get some industry experience. I joined this new company called Oracle. They were 2,000 people back then when I joined in 89. And I'm like, this company is too big. I moved to a smaller company in Berkeley, 120 people. That company went public when I was working there. So that sort of gave me the entrepreneurial bug. I still went back to Berkeley, finished my PhD, which is where I met my co-founder of 11Site, part of Askafi. Coming after school, we weren't academically minded. We did one startup that was SMS application for wireless handsets. When Motorola StarTAC, the flip phone, was the most advanced phone, Netscape was new. So you would tell us on our website what you're interested in, would send you SMS messages with your horoscope, team results, stock prices. We sold that to a competitor. The second company we did separately. We bought RFID, part of build a location capable RFID chip that he sold to Maxim Integrated. My company was a supply chain company in yard management, software as a service company, which ultimately got acquired by Excel KKR it's a private equity firm in a roll-up of other solution providers. So in terms of the journey that brought us here, the first time around, we had defined success as seeing it through without screwing it up. And we managed to make some money in the process. The second time we said we want to make money for all the shareholders, and we delivered on that. The Excel bought us for 50 million. Now, after that, we could have just sort of take it easy, but then, being masochists, we saw another opportunity, which led to 11Site. And this time around, we are sort of going after the upside, and we really want to help all of our shareholders make a lot of money. Now, you also said, where did 11Site come from? Where did the idea come from? And we knew back when we started that video was going to be a good means to conduct business. So we were aware of Zoom meeting rooms, and we were aware of WhatsApp and Skype. So that's how friends talk. And we realized that there wasn't a good way for businesses to interact with their customers, with their prospects immediately. Right? The current thinking is, okay, I'll let them fill out a form. I'll get back to them. I'll schedule a meeting and I'll talk to them in the next 5 to 10 days. For a specific segment that we are targeting, that 5 to 10 day delay kills the deal. Why? Because we are targeting these high velocity sales where the customer makes a decision under 30 days. Maybe pays a credit card, which is essentially what most SaaS companies are, especially if they want to grow with product-led growth, with a pricing page where people can buy from them. But not always is it that easy to just do it yourself. Maybe for legitimacy or trust, you want to talk to the vendor. Maybe there are a couple of requirements you want to clarify. Now, when we looked at industry statistics, we saw that if this is a scheduled meeting, 30% of the people don't show up to those meetings. And then 78% of people buy from the first vendor they talk to. We said, okay, so given all of this, what needs to change for those inbound sales organization at the top of the funnel so that you can increase lead conversion, right? And that's basically when we realized that meeting rooms, it is not. It's a lot more giving your prospect the ability to reach the business with one click from anywhere, without downloads, without appointments, without any platform restrictions. Now, to expand on that from anywhere, it's sort of an omni-channel, right? Because back in the day, your website was your single source of truth. Nowadays, people read about you on Capterra and G2. They read your LinkedIn blog posts. Maybe they watch some YouTube videos. You want to eliminate friction, and you want to give your prospect the ability with one click to originate a call to you that you can answer and make instant eye contact. So we said, okay, how can we build this? And that's how 11Sight was born.
Gotcha. So see, like when I'm out there and I'm looking for solutions or SaaS like products for like our business, and it's surprising how many companies don't even have like a simple calendar on their website for me to book a call with them. Like I have to fill out a form, and then like I'm waiting. And honestly, some companies don't even get back to me. One company got back to me 6 months later. I'm like, I've already purchased and made my decision and everything. So you're eliminating all of that. You're eliminating even the booking on the calendar. It's like, hey, for the people that, and I guess in the industries where it's important for the prospect to talk to you now, you just click a button and you're live with them right then and there.
That's exactly what it is. Because I mean, we look at 3 types of sales. For a $17 t-shirt, I don't want to talk to the vendor. They don't want to talk to me.
Right.
If this is a $1 million contract that's going to go to an RFP 9 months, so who cares if you talk to the prospect day 1 or day 5? There will be many more conference calls. But anywhere in between, when the customer is going to just make a decision, today's customers are well informed. They go, they do their own homework, they create their short list, and there comes the point in time when they want to buy, right? I mean, I have examples from me buying things, and I have examples from our customers trying to buy things, right? So last year, we were all contractors. This year, we wanted to go to W-2s, be employees. I reached out to TriNet, Paychex, ADP. TriNet got back to me right away. I had a handshake before the other guys called. And it's like, I'm not going to change things now. It's not that different what you offer.
Yeah.
Right. And we had cases where the customer had done their homework. They were either going to just go with WebEx or Zoom with meetings. They did one last search. And this truly happened. One night I was working at 10 o'clock and our inbound video call rang. And I answered, and in fact, that person was about to give out their credit card. They did one last search and they found us. So 15 minutes later, that would have been a lost customer for us.
Right.
So we ourselves use our solution. We, in fact, have a distributed team. We are a cloud-based company. We have a person in India, in Istanbul, in Munich, and in New York, as well as Bay Area. So we try to answer calls around the clock.
Gotcha.
And it makes a huge difference. I mean, last year we listed our solution on AppSumo. We signed up some 1,800 customers. Some of them just signed up without any call. But even if there is a call, it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And you eliminate any doubts and you make it so easy for people to actually buy, make, and complete that purchase. And I mean, we do actually talk to sales organizations, and sometimes they ask us, but don't you need to prepare for it? And the reality is we have built capabilities in our product to address all that. But even independent of that, I mean, as an SDR, BDR, or as a SaaS entrepreneur who is just rolling out your own solution, you know your solution. I mean, you don't need to prepare. And the questions you need to ask are more or less the same. Now, but then to still help the people answering the calls, we have built key capabilities in the product. One of them is in our intelligent routing. So if somebody originates a call, we actually ask them for their business email. That first allows us to decide how to route that call. Maybe there's an existing customer which already has a assigned salesperson. Or we can ring 5 SDRs. Any one of them can answer the call. Whoever answers it first gets the lead, right? Plus, we can actually take that business email, go into the CRM, go into other systems, get some deal intelligence. We also know the call context, that this person originated a call from LinkedIn. Was the particular campaign the company had run? Is this for an event that we are actually talking to prospects about? So we give all of these on what we call call cards. So when you get in a meeting with the prospect, make eye contact, as the salesperson, you have call cards that are telling you what you are supposed to do. And then as you are entering information with our CRM integrations, we update the CRM to move the deal forward.
Gotcha. So that's how you're taking care of, like, if you're like caught off guard by a call, well, you're not really off guard because all the information pops up right in front of you and you can, go ahead and still have that conversation. Yeah. Awesome.
And I mean, we use this all the time. So it's not really being off guard because this is what you do. I mean, if you are actually as SDR, BDR, sometimes you are expected to generate your own outbound reach. Maybe you do LinkedIn campaigns and maybe you do email campaigns, you write some blogs. The key thing here is to make the call to action a video call to you without any friction.
Yeah.
Right. And as you are working, if the phone rings, you answer. And if you can't, maybe you escalate your line to somebody else. Or in the worst case, they'll just leave a message. You're going to call them back or they're going to make an appointment. We are actually seeing this as a big shift in the mentality in the inbound sales organization, right? The SaaStartup founder recently also wrote an article that said, if the phone rings, pick it up, right? I mean, back in the 80s, you sat in your office in your suit and tie, and when the phone rang, you answered. As technology companies have created forms,
that's so true.
AI chatbots, and then we get enamored as vendors to use them because we no longer need to talk to the prospect. But then as customers, when we want to buy something, we hate those AI chatbots. They never know what we are asking them.
Yeah. I always just say speak to representative. That's what I type in. Yeah. So But so Aleks, let's dive in a little bit into, I'm curious. See, you mentioned your story and your past companies. The world was very different back in the 90s to the 2000s and then to now. So for yourself, like, what are the biggest changes you've seen and what are the biggest lessons you've learned early on that you applied now to 11 Site to just do things better?
I mean, so there is the standard business 101 stuff that, validate your product in the market, be customer centric, value your customer and all of that. But then what has changed is the reach of a company. I mean, in the first few startups, I had to drive to Sand Hill Road to talk to VCs. I may have had one, maybe 2 meetings a day. And that would be the day I would drive back and I would be stuck in traffic. Now I can have 8 such meetings and not just in the Bay Area, around the globe. I mean, you are somewhere in Canada. I'm in the Bay Area. Earlier today, I was on an interview with somebody in New York. And later tonight, I have a meeting in Austria. So be aware that sort of your backyard now is around the globe. And especially if you are as a SaaS company, that's very much so because you don't have any shipment. People will just log in and use your software. So be aware of that. I mean, so long, you speak the language, the culture, and you meet the needs of your customers around the globe, you can be accessible to the globe. Just make yourself accessible and let them engage you. And be aware that, I mean, back in the day, we would build our website and put all the information there. Nowadays, you don't put all, you put all the information there, but you put it also everywhere else. You need to make sure that you are talking about yourself on LinkedIn. Maybe you do some Facebook postings, you write blogs, you do podcasts like the ones that I'm doing now. And that's all how you actually make the world aware of what it is that you are doing.
Gotcha. Now, Aleks, right before we started this show as well, you were mentioning PLG, right? That's the approach that you're really taking with your product. And I kind of feel like PLG has always been around, but it's really been like more formalized now. But what are some PLG concepts that you're implementing in your company that you feel other SaaS founders can take advantage of?
Yeah, so I mean, clearly there is an education aspect to PLG because your customers need to know of your existence. They need to be able to find you. They need to actually understand that, hey, I have this problem and these guys have a solution that fits your problem. So for that, they need to be a lot out there. They need to make case studies. These are all the things that we are doing. Talk about yourselves, work with influencers, let them talk about yourself. I mean, we were tremendously successful on AppSumo because some people thought, hey, this is great. And they were good influencers. They had like basically followers. We had a lot of interviews with them. They talked about us. And next thing you know, we had like 1,800 people who were using our solution. Right. So that's the key thing. But then product-led growth is not just a marketing mentality. It's a across the company mentality, because your product needs to be also easy to use. You need to have all the elements that allow people to just log in and start using it, and then become better and better at it. Right. Today, when you sign up with us, you're going to get a call link, like or an E-line, what we call it. My calling is vcall.link/Aleks Gollu. Our sales line is vcall.link/11sales. You could even brand those, right? So that's actually in our premier tier. So you are ready to go. So all you need to do now is make people aware of your E-line so that your E-line is the call to action. But then in time, maybe you want to integrate with your CRM. You want to put some buttons on a website. So these are then layers of functionality that you discover with the product over time. And the other thing is the entire customer engagement lifecycle, right? So if you are a SaaS company, even your support is actually a profit center, right? Sometimes you buy a piece of equipment, and then when you try to get hold of the vendor, they don't want to talk to you. Why? Because to them, you are dealing with a cost center. You already spend the money on the hardware. You're not going to spend any more money. But if this is a monthly recurring revenue, every renewal is a new booking. So be aware of that. I mean, we are initially with our outbound campaigns targeting sales and marketing organizations, but really the tool is for the entire customer engagement lifecycle. So the top of the funnel, but then maybe you have follow-on conversations to close that deal. Maybe this is like a really high velocity deal where in the first call as an SDR, or maybe you are one of the managers who's answering, you can get that customer, make that credit card purchase. But then that's only an MRR, right? So next month they may delete or they may cancel. So if they have questions, give them the ability to call you and ask any questions. And we basically do that, is that once you are our customer, you have any questions, the same way you reached our sales line on vcall.link11sales, you can call us vcall.link11support, and somebody will answer it 24/7.
Amazing.
So be aware of your customer needs and be prepared to talk to them, but implement that as a mentality through the entire customer engagement lifecycle and in the entire company. And another comment is like, yes, definitely PLG has been around. It's just that it takes a while for those acronyms to form.
Yeah.
Right? Customer acquisition, CAC, and CLV. Of course, we knew that. Before that, there was ARPU. I remember this was 2002 that people would have ARPU on their brochures. And I actually remember one company had like emphasized ARPU so much that everybody thought their company was called ARPU.
No way.
So what does ARPU do?
That's funny.
But nowadays, that's basically part of our language, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's amazing. And that's some great advice, Aleks. Thanks for sharing that. How do you see the future of this industry evolving? You know, you are still in the world of, I feel like you're carving a niche that, you know, that Zoom or Google Meets or whatever, like they are not playing in necessarily, or it's not a fit for. But how do you see that whole video calling world evolving?
Yeah. So, I mean, that actually goes back to why we are doing this and why we are doing this now. Because 2 years ago, when the pandemic hit, the world discovered, oh, we can do business online. But then it didn't matter if you were in a classroom, in a courtroom, or doing grandmother's birthday, you use the same metaphors of a whole bunch of boxes on the screen. The video world is now going vertical. We are aware of companies building solutions just for courtrooms. so that people don't all of a sudden look like a cat in front of a judge. I'm sure you have seen that video. And, Hopin or Airmeet, they basically are focused on events. We decided to focus on the needs of sales and marketing organizations, basically help them accelerate leads by giving them the fastest speed possible, guaranteed, by answering instant calls. So we are going vertical. Now, we are in the sales enablement conversational marketing space where there are a lot of other players. There has been a lot of movement. But all of those solutions, luckily for us, are still text and keyboard bound.
Right.
So we are basically saying, okay, we're going to use video. We're going to accelerate lead conversion with instant person-to-person conversations by giving the prospect the ability to reach a business. And we will give the business all the necessary tools to route that call to the most suitable available salesperson. We'll give that salesperson call context so that they can make as much progress as possible. And we will automate capturing that progress with our back-end integrations. Gotcha. And I think this is going to come because, as I said earlier, SaaStar founder Jason, he wrote that article. Every couple days, we see another blog post on LinkedIn that they hate chatbots and, the 5 steps they had to go through and the 3 months they had to pass before they could reach anybody. So as buyers, we are frustrated with this. And sales organizations have to are now realizing that, look, we can't optimize this for the needs of the salespeople's comfort. We need to optimize this for the needs of the prospects.
Yeah, fair enough. So the way that you're seeing the world really move forward is we had video and we solved for it, but now these specialized cases for different scenarios, there'd be platforms built specifically for that. And so video is going to become much, much more mature as the years go on.
Yeah. So 2 years ago, Zoom became a verb.
Yeah.
But in a few years, there will be plenty new verbs. You're going to be 11ing with your customers. Maybe for courtrooms, there will be another verb. Because what we do is when you get in a call with your prospects, all the prospects see is you, or when you share your screen, that's what they see. But what we do is we give the sales rep a number of call cards on the side. Maybe it's a call script. Maybe it's information about the person who is calling. Maybe it's information from the CRM. Maybe it's create a deal, create a contact, create a task, all of that on one screen within the call while you are actually talking to the prospect. Gotcha.
Amazing. Aleks, that is, it's awesome stuff. And you sound really passionate about it too. So that's always great to hear.
As I said, we have all these cases where we have used our solution ourselves. Yeah. And what our customers basically tell us is that a video initiated interaction is 3 times more likely to result in a sale than any other internet lead. Right?
That's huge.
So, and it's a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy too, because the person who is taking the time to give you a video call, they are a new generation of buyers. They have done their homework. They have they have created their short list. They are now ready to buy. It's so easy to just send a query into a chatbot or into an email and then forget about it. But if they call you with video, they are ready to do something. Nobody just casually calls people.
Yeah, for sure. Especially on video.
So that's where it's on the SDR, BDRs to actually answer these calls. Another thing we have built into our product is campaigns and campaign management, right? So as SDRs, you are putting group lines and you ring and you pick up the call when somebody is calling in on that group line. But as campaign managers, you can run different types of campaigns. Maybe this is for Facebook, maybe this is for LinkedIn. And then you say, okay, if somebody calls this line, this particular campaign, call this group line. But at the end, you want to see which campaigns worked. Is LinkedIn better than Facebook for my audience? Now, that marketing level capability, we also provide to every individual. I can do as an SDR, BDR, or as a young entrepreneur my own campaigns, and I can put trackers on my different campaigns and then see what's working. So even if I'm a larger company, an individual working, I can still do my campaigns and generate basically a set of leads that are calling me on my direct line. So it's a good opportunity also for an SDR, BDR to get upward mobility because, hey, maybe you are very good at generating leads, then you go up in marketing. Maybe you are very good at getting salespeople, getting your prospect give out the credit card. If it's that easy, maybe you don't need to escalate to an account executive. Mm-hmm. And then people see that you can close, and next thing you know, you are moved up to an account executive level.
Right. Yeah. No, it really sounds like you've throughout the years, you've really built out this full suite of features that are enabling sales teams at all levels to be able to engage with their customers a lot easier. And
yes,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's video going vertical. It's not just a bunch of boxes on the screen.
Yeah. Fair enough. So Aleks, as we wrap up over here, what is one piece of advice that you would like to give to our early stage founders listening in?
Focus on your customers, listen to your customers, and if they reach out to you, answer instantly. And to that end, go to our website, 11site.com, 11SIGHT, those are numbers. Go to pricing page, sign up. They can use SaaS10, SaaS10 as a discount code. That's what we did for your audience specifically. They can get a 10% discount. It actually is free for the first 2 weeks. Give it a run. Maybe you can use it yourself. Maybe you can let your team use it. Or maybe you tell your manager, hey, we should buy this. We should all use this. So that's amazing. Maybe it's a little bit selfish interest, but it is very good advice.
Amazing. And Aleks, if our audience wants to connect with you, where can they find you?
They can actually just call me at vcall.link/Aleks Gollu. They can come to our website. They can actually engage the chat, which will give them sales option, call the sales line option. I am on there. You can go to our LinkedIn page. You will be able to click on some of the images and call us directly. That's how they can get hold of us. We basically are living and experiencing and benefiting from our own solution.
Awesome. Aleks, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Ryan.